Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. Today I've got lots of fun things to show you, but I am starting today with my featured make, which is the Adventure Tee. So as you can tell, it has this gorgeous neckline, these really cute flutter sleeves, but you really can't see the best part of the sweater unless I get up and show you, so I'm going to do that. So this is from E'Claire Makery, aka Claire Goodale, and oh my gosh, look at it, guys. Yes, it is indeed. You can see America over here. Alaska's like down here, kind of under my underarm. It is indeed a world map sweater, and it's got these cute little wave details on the bottom. Australia's over here, and the top is designed to look like a compass rose. And let me tell you, when people see this tee, one, they're incredibly, it takes them a minute to understand what it is, but also it's like probably my most showstoppery piece because people can tell that it took a lot of work. So this is the Adventure Tee. I tested this for Claire last year, and there are a ton of really cute versions. So if you go on to Instagram and you follow or look up the hashtag Adventure Tee, you'll be able to see everybody else's. A couple people did sleeve variations. Excuse me. Some people added a little bit of ribbing, or instead of doing the flutter sleeves, I think at least one person made it a tank, and then other people had 3/4 sleeves. Sorry, that was Scoot. He wasn't sure if he wanted to be in the video or not today. But it is one of my favorite pieces that I've made. And even though this top is beautifully designed, and it matches all the way around as a compass rose, it is made from 2 flat panels. So you'll do the front part, you'll do the back part, and you'll seam them together, and then you do the sleeves at the end. So it looks complicated, and it is in some aspects, but it's not actually a circular yoke at the top. I will also say that I loved the motif so much. Y'all know I like to reuse the motif, that I made my sister a pillow with just the world map part on it, and that was a lot of fun too. For this sweater, for me, the world map was actually simpler to do than the compass rose at the top, because there are 6 different colors. You can't really tell, but right here, one side is like a green velvet, and then the other side is the same navy that I use in other parts of this. But if you want to see better pictures of this too, you can check out my Instagram. I've worn this a couple of times. I wore this for local yarn store day underneath a cardigan, and it's just a really fun piece. So I wanted to show that off today. And I wanted to show it off today because I'm actually working on something else for Claire. So we will get right on into whips and finished objects. And I'm actually going to start with my whips first, since we're talking about Claire. So, excuse me, like I said, I pattern tested this for Claire, and then I bought her book. I've made a couple of her other designs. If you remember the house pillow and the house sweater that I made using the same motif, that was all from Claire. I did a balloon sweater, which has a really cute flower on the front of it. That was Claire. She is the queen of color work, clearly. And she's got a book out called Crochet Color Work Made Easy, if you are interested in that. But I was talking to her, and she wanted to see if I was interested in making up some samples for her. Like most creative people, she has more ideas than time. And so I was like, yeah, absolutely, I would love to do that. And I wanted to show you how cute it is. So let me show you. It's a little strawberry blanket. Look at it. Oh, so cute. And this strawberry blanket with these little bobble stitches, this pattern will repeat, and then the top will have strawberries on it as well. I think that her goal is to release this later this year. It's called the Strawberry Fields Blanket. She will also have a strawberry, or she already has out a Strawberry Fields pillow pattern. But this is a little bit more streamlined of a design. It still has bobbles. It still has the strawberry design motif. but I think this design is a little simpler than the pillow one was. And it is just beautiful and gorgeous. I am using I believe it's Pima cotton and modal from We Crochet. It's called Shine. It's a worsted weight and it has a beautiful drape to it. Really enjoying working with it. And because it's cotton and modal, like it's just very soft and perfect for a summer make. So I am enjoying this. As always, my only complaint is that the skeins are teeny. So there's a lot of putting together yarn. So I'm really pumped about that. The little strawberries, I like the fact that you start and end with them, because like any kind of color work, like the color work itself can be a little bit addictive because you just want to see what it looks like. You want to see how it's going to come out. So once I finish that, I kind of slowed down a little bit, and I'm doing a couple of rows a day of this, weaving it in between other projects, but I like it a lot, and the colors are super cute and fun. I'm absolutely loving that project, and that's from Claire Goodale, aka E'Claire Makery. That's how you'll find her on Instagram. She's also got a website, she's got a blog, E'Claire Makery, like E'Claire Bakery, but she makes stuff. She's great, love her. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is this cardigan that y'all all love, and I love it too. Ta-da! It's not done yet. As anticipated, got stuck a little bit on Sleeve Island, which just means finding the motivation to finish the second sleeve, but all of the yarn came in, so I plan to have this finished, I don't know, maybe my next week. Maybe I won't send it to my friend until I can show it to y'all finished, but it's coming along beautifully. I love it. This sleeve is finished. This sleeve is almost, a little over 40% maybe finished. And then I'll do pockets. And then I'll steam block it, which just means like putting it on a dress form or blocking mats and then holding a steamer over it just so that the yarn can kind of set and find its new home. Because this is a cotton and a linen blend of yarn, you don't really have to wet block it, which means getting the whole garment wet and then putting it on a form or putting it on blocking mats. This garment won't really change shape that much, but it'll just help the yarn be happier where it is. So I am loving this. I am happy that I'm on the second sleeve, and I'm hoping, because me and my husband are going to go on like a mini road trip tomorrow, that if I don't finish it today, that I will just pack it with me, and then if it's the only project I have to work on in the car, then I'll have to finish it. So I'm pretty pumped about this. It's coming along really cute, and like it just feels nice. So I hope she likes it. I'm sure she will. The colors are just super cute, and I feel like the colors are showing up a little bit better today. Sometimes when I take pictures of it, this color looks super orange, and I think it's coming along, I think it's coming through very easily in the video today that it's more of a coral. It's not quite as orangey. So I am making headway slowly but surely on that. And then, yeah, so this is a project that I started yesterday, day before. That's going to be a very Vero top from Chelsea, aka Knitting Tipsy. I showed you the yarn, I believe, last week, the Kobu yarn. It's cotton and bamboo, and I just started it. This is worked in panels, so it'll have a front panel and a back panel that you'll sew together, and then you'll do sleeves and this cute little bobble border. That's called the Very Vero top, and it's got a V-neck, it's got a V-back, and these little ties. It's very cute. I'm excited about it, but I told myself I couldn't start another garment until I finished at least one of the other ones that I had, and I did, so I did. So it's coming along really cute. This is the color Lichen, and I think it'll be fun. Right now it looks huge, but part of that, especially with like a grainy stripe stitch like this, they kind of drop a little bit once they have a little bit of like a few more rows. And then like seaming on the sides, it's supposed to be a boxy fit. Once I finish the first panel, I'll decide if it still looks too big, but I think it'll be cute. I'm excited. I like the color, and the pattern seems pretty straightforward so far, so I like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my finished objects that I finished so that I could start that project. First one I'm going to show you, several of y'all have been very excited to see, and I kind of just got on a rhythm with it that I just wanted it done. Like I got so far and I'm like, I just need to finish it. So I did. And that is my Timberwood tank. And it's so cute. I did not wear this in the video today because on our little field trip tomorrow, my husband and I are going to Port Huron, Michigan, and we're gonna take pictures there in it. But it came out so cute. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I modified it a little bit. I used a different size hook than the one that called for, so it's a little bit breezier. The stitches are a little bit bigger, and then I also made it a little bit cropped and more so followed how big I wanted it to be rather than following the row counts that Janine had in the pattern. The row counts are great, but because my hook size was bigger, it was already going to be a little bit bigger, and so that's why I did what I did. But it came out super cute. I did have one issue with, so the right and the left sides are done a little bit differently so that they match, and I had some gaps on the right side that just like you could just see through them too much. And while that wouldn't be that big of a deal wearing this over a button-up shirt or even over a tank top or a dress, I didn't want to wear it over anything other than, you know, undergarments. So I went through it and I just kind of sewed up the gaps. And that might have been because my hook was bigger, that those gaps were just more noticeable to me. But that was my only thing with that. And it fits great. I blocked it. I wet blocked this because this is 100% wool, superwash merino wool. It's Lion Brand's 100% superwash merino, and it has a lovely drape to it. I love the color of it. It's very soft, but I will tell you that when you wet block this, you can hear Scoot. When you wet block this particular yarn has a smell. It goes away once, like it doesn't smell like anything now, but just when it was wet, it had a weird smell. So just be aware of that if you use this yarn. Again, I would use this yarn again, for sure. But I did warn my husband about the fact that the basement might smell a little funky when I was blocking this. I also suggest for this pattern, if you want your tank to be form-fitting, because again, all of these beautiful lines are designed to kind of follow your curves, to make sure that you give yourself some negative ease. And what that means is that when you finished your garment, it should look a little bit small because it's going to stretch to follow your curves. So like when I first got this wet and had it wet blocked, like it looked teeny tiny, but the half double crochet slip stitch in the back loop only, aka the stitch that you used for pretty much the whole thing, has a lot of stretch to it. So just know that once you finish it, that it will stretch some. So depending on what yarn you want to use, I bought this with a kit from Lion Brand, using the same yarn that Janine used to make hers. Just make sure that you have a yarn that gives a little stretch because it's designed to. But I absolutely love this. It looks really cute on. I'm very excited to wear this weekend. And if you want to see the cute outfit that I have designed for this, check out my Instagram, Yarn Crafts by Nicole. That's where I post pictures all the time of what I'm making, what I'm doing. I'm currently doing the Yarn Love Challenge with TL Yarn Crafts, and so there's lots of fun things to check out there. And that's where you'll see pictures of this. I'll probably wear it in a video sometime this summer, but there will definitely be pictures taken this weekend. So I'm very, very pumped about this. And I have more of this yarn left over because I made mine cropped, because I used a bigger hook size, and because I think the kit just came with extra yarn. I haven't decided what I'm gonna make with it. Kind of looks like it could become cute hats or maybe a table runner. Like really pretty fall colors. That's a good idea. I should see what scrap yarn I had that would go with this. But I'm pumped for possibilities. I'm very excited about that particular design. Now, this I literally finished yesterday. So this is my most recent finished make. And it just finished getting off the blocking mats today. Ta-da! It's a shawl that I designed myself. And let me get you in a little closer. It has this really cute stitch pattern with these little crisscross X stitches, some linen stitches. You know I love a good linen stitch, some double crochets, and then it's finished with a crab stitch border. So pretty. And it's a one skein wonder. So this was made with one skein of fingering weight yarn, and it is beautiful. So I designed this. I will be writing up a pattern either beginning of next week. Guys, look how cute this is. Obviously this would not go with the shirt I'm wearing currently, but look how cute it is. Either this weekend or most likely next week, be writing up the pattern for this. So you can expect to see this soonish from me on Ravelry and on Etsy. But I love this because, again, it's a one skein wonder. So if you have a skein of fingering weight yarn that you bought at a local yarn store, or you bought from maybe a yarn expo and you're just not sure what you want to do with it, maybe you just want to use it on its own, this would be a great crochet pattern for it. I will also tell you that these little stitches, especially the X stitches, when they are blocked, they grow a decent amount. So when I first finished this, I was like, oh, it's going to be a small little shawl, but it did grow a decent amount after I blocked it. So I love this. I'm leaning towards the name the X Factor Shawl. If you think that's cute, let me know in the comments. But you can expect this within the next couple of weeks. I was really excited to design with this yarn because this is a yarn that was designed specifically for the local yarn store that I worked at in Kentucky called the Wooden Needle. This colorway is called the Wooden Needle Jewels, and it was dyed by Stitch Together Studio, who is fantastic. And it's been sitting in my stash for a little bit because I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I decided that I would design my own pattern for it. And if you say, hey, that colorway looks kind of like the bag that you did, it is. Because this is the worsted weight, also how cute is this bag? This is the worsted weight version of the same colorway. So that is why they look the same. This is the Kensington tote from TL Yarn Crafts. The one that she made used bulky weight yarn. This is a worsted, so it's a little, I have to play around a little bit with the stitch counts in the pattern. But super cute design, very sturdy. It looks like it's knit, but it's Tunisian crochet. But if this looks like this, there's a reason why. So those are all of my exciting, fun projects. It's the ones that I just finished, as well as some of this very new ones. So now let's go on to Yarn Love. So I got in the mail this cute set of mini skeins from Montana Crochet. She is a fantabulous. Well, she is fantabulous. Oh, look at this. Yarn dyer out of, you guessed it, Montana. And her name is Ashley. She's on Instagram. She does really amazing like neutrals and earth tones and just all sorts of fun colors. So I bought these mini skeins from her. She was doing like a one-of-a-kind sale. So I got some minis that were mysteries to me. I didn't know what colors they would be. And they're beautiful. It's this beautiful gradient of gray. Each of these minis I think has 87 yards. They're all superwash merino. They're a sock weight yarn. And they are just super cute. Look at them. I've wanted to buy from her for a while, and I'm very glad that I did. I don't know what these want to become yet, and I'm really glad that I got a gray because clearly gray is not a color that I gravitate towards, but it's going to be fun doing something with these. and I kind of want to do something with all 5 of them. The great thing about minis is that when you buy a set of minis, you can either use them all together, or if you wanted to use individual ones for color work, they're great for that. There are some designers that write specific patterns for minis. There is a juniper cowl that was going around last year from TL Yarn Crafts that was designed for minis and is awesome. I have one. It's great, but it costs more than I have with these 5, and I already have a juniper cowl, so I'm not sure what these want to become yet, but they're just really pretty. So I'll let you know what I designed with these. But it was from, like I said, Montana Crochet, someone who I'd wanted to buy from for a while. I know her because she also does some pattern testing, so I've been in some groups with her before, and she's just such a sweet and amazing creative person. So if you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. Montana Crochet. And that, my friends, is the end of this Yarn Chats session. So we're gonna wrap it up with what can't let go of, and what I can't let go of this week is just some good books that I've been reading. It's summer. I'm trying to spend not all of my time in front of the TV while I'm writing and designing patterns. So I'm listening to a couple of books. I have been listening to some Agatha Christie books just because those are kind of fun palette cleansers. I just listened to The Secret Adversary, which was pretty good, through the Libby app, and it was a nice, relatively quick read. And then I'm reading Anxious People, and that has been really good too. I'll look up his name before I put it in the description below, but Fredrik is his first name, and he also wrote a man called Uva, and I just really enjoy the way that he writes. It's very dry humor. The way that he describes people kind of cracks me up. It's very blunt in a lot of ways, and his stories are interesting and complex, and I'm really enjoying that. So I've been going to local bookstores for breakfast a couple of times a week and just enjoying some really good coffee and some great reading. So I hope that you've got some time for some fun reading this summer. If you have any book recs, let me know in the comments below, because I'm always looking for my next book. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.